I mean, I'm not designed to be home, as I said earlier. So I have to balance it as best as possible. And I don't think there is a recipe for it. The most important ingredient, not a recipe, but the most important ingredient, I think, for this is support of your partner and support of the extended family members. Otherwise, it's impossible.
I make sure I am well dressed, at least waist above. I shave I get a good shave and everything. And then this is my home office. It's a studio. These last 5 months, we would all have our meals together. So that means having lunch together, having the dinner together. That has been something we haven't had a chance to do for the longest period of time. And this definitely was an advantage of being home. We all do our own beds. That's a little bit of work, but it also lends some level of discipline. We've been doing our own laundry. And in this process, our biceps are not too bad right now. So try to get some exercise. We have we've got a treadmill at home, and at least, I say I'm going to walk for 30 minutes, watch a movie at that time, and then also try to go to bed as during a normal time as possible. It is a good time to pick up an old hobby. And also, I said that, this is time to learn something new. And I used to learn Spanish, and I've taken up Spanish once again. You have these audio lessons. So I've taken up an old hobby. That's kind of how I've tried to lend some level of sanity during this very challenging times.
My little one, he's 3 years old. He wakes up in the morning and he does his own bed. So why should the pressure be only on females? Or why should the pressure be only on the person who's staying at home and working? It shouldn't be that way. It should be distributed as best as possible.
And living in Dhaka city is not easy. It's one of the most expensive cities in the world. If you think about it, for what you get, you pay a lot more. So it's very, very challenging. But the thing is that you also have to be innovative under such situations. And we've had to take measures of cutting costs. And I'm not going to go into details, but a lot of them were very painful cuts. As Jack Ma said, this is the year simply to survive, not to scale up. So we're not even looking at scaling up. We've actually scaled down.
Life is not about straight A's anymore. As we saw over the past few months, the COVID pandemic has been frightening. It's been about being alive. And if we're going to sit and stress about whether our children are getting straight A's, that is, I think, a misdirected attention. So let's focus more on having healthy, happy, and positive-minded children. I think it's very important to be very direct with the children, to explain to them that, they're a part of the team. And it's not that I have to look after them. They also have to look after me.
I mean, there are some jobs you simply cannot do at home. The police, the military, those who are at drugstores, those who are doing work for essential workers. And of course, most of all, the healthcare workers, they cannot work from home. They have to put their lives on the balance, absolutely on the line, and go to work. They have to do that, and they're getting affected. They're getting COVID positive. A lot of them have lost their lives. It's a sad fact of life. And then there are many jobs, for example, a lot of bankers, they have to go to work, and they are getting affected. Now, there are the people who can work from home, and that their job allows them to work from home. And I think many companies have been, I wouldn't use the word gracious, they have been sensible enough to tell their people, you stay home, don't come to work. There are people like Zara who are going not staying at home, but their employers are saying, no, I'm sorry, I know you're going nuts, but you're not coming to work. We don't want you to get sick, we don't want you to die. And they're the sensible companies. But if there are people who are saying that, no, I don't care, it's like a time card, you have to come to work. And there are companies like that. I'm sorry to say there are. And they are saying that, no, I don't care. You can do your job from home, I know, but you still have to come to work. I think that is gross negligence as far as public health is concerned.
Have a movie day with them. Have let's say you don't have cable, you have only BTV. Watch Bohobri with them. There are many things going on. People have Dishline, right? There's the wonderful things going on Duronto. It's not that you have to have Netflix, you have to have Kids Messenger, you have to have all really fancy stuff. No, let's innovate. Because of the English medium impact on our children, their Bangla is very sort of trails behind. So Naveed and I are working very consciously on improving my Bangla and my children's Bangla. So we are reading Amar boye je kobita gulo ache oguloi porchi. So we're not doing really exotic things. We're doing basic things with whatever we have.
a game we play with our 3-year-old child and our 8-year-old, both of them are very much intrigued. They said we actually lie down in our living room on the floor, and through the window, we look up into the sky. And then we ask them, can you guess what the shape of that cloud is? And trust me, believe me, our 3-year-old, our 8-year-old, they're hooked to that game. It is an exercise of cerebral fitness. They're really being imaginative. And this is probably something maybe our grandparents did hundreds of years ago, sitting underneath the tree when there were no devices.
This is a time when we have our children close to our heart. I experienced this for the first time for 5 straight months. Yes, I did go a little crazy once in a while because I'm more of a busybody, more of a mother later than everything else first, unfortunately. But I really appreciate the time I got. I bonded very closely with my children. As Naveed said, the girls have come back to me again. So I took it as a blessing. Despite the losses, the COVID cases, everything that has gone, the reduced income, all of that, I took it as a blessing because inshallah, someday they will all venture out of the house again. My 15-year-old will grow into an 18-year-old, leave home, go to college. The children will grow up, they will leave. So this is a moment that we try to huddle together and make it through. So appreciate the good things that you have around you, alhamdulillah, and may everybody be blessed and stay healthy, safe, and happy, inshallah. Wishing you all the best.
Yeah, just to recap the session, as Zara was also doing that, I mentioned that I think this is, if we look at it from an optimistic perspective, this is a golden opportunity to bond with our children, because at the end of the day, our children are our friends, or at least we need to make sure our children look at the parents as their friends. Because when children look at their parents as friends, that is when 90% of their issues are resolved, because especially when they're teenagers, a lot of children are going, even in normal times, they go through bullying, they go through peer pressure, they go through depression, they go through so many issues as children as they're growing up, more so these days as they're so connected, cyberbullying and so forth. Many a times they, or just like every human being, when a human being is faced with an issue, they look for an ally, a shoulder to lean on. And most of the times it is our friends. But what better a situation if that friend is your parent, your father or your mother, or both of them. If that happens, we become our children's friends. And if we are our children's friends, when they are in trouble, we are the first people they will come to, not some obscure person on the internet who's going to lure that little child in harm's way.